Hello everyone, I'm finally back with another video as promised. Today I'm going to talk about how to ply from a ply ball. Plying from a ply ball with a spindle is one of the most ancient techniques for plying. There are records of it being done hundreds of years ago. I've seen engravings from the 17th century and from the 16th century of people plying from a ball while walking. It was the most common method used by spinners when spinning with a distaff and spindle was the norm. Definitely it was used in Italy until after the Second World War, when people span on a regular basis. So what a plying ball is a ball made with how many singles as you need to do your ply. In this case, I'm going to do a traditional 3-ply. So my ball is made with 3 separate singles that have not been twisted together yet. So the way it works is that you fill the spindle 3 times. For example, I filled it 3 times with 50 grams of this Italian wool from L'Aquila, the same one I was spinning in my last video. And from each spindle, each time you finish, you need to wind the single into a ball. And then from the 3 separate balls, you wind the 3 singles together into a 4th ball, which is the thing you're going to use for plying. Now, plying from these, it's very easy and it's also very portable. So you can walk on the street or be in the fields while looking at the calves or do whatever you wanted and just, unwind the ball while it's connected to the spindle and carry on plying without having to worry about the 3 singles getting messed up with themselves. Now, what I have done, I have not made a ball for each spindle. What I did, every time I finished a spindle, I wound the yarn into a bobbin on my spinning wheel. So I did this because I wanted to even up the twist as much as possible. So what I do, I keep the spindle very far away from the wheel and I wind the thread on the bobbin with the drive band only on the bobbin and not on the flyer. And the distance between the spinning wheel and the spindle from which I'm unwinding gives space for the twist to travel on the length of thread that is tense at that moment. This makes the twist even up each time on a big length, so you end up with a much more even ply at the end. Of course, you can do the same thing with balls and keep them far away, but the problem with balls is that they do tend to jump around, or the 3 singles get messed up between themselves. So if you are going to be working from balls because you don't have a lazy Kate or a spinning wheel, my advice on it is to get a shoebox like this and cut a piece of cardboard into 2 parts and make some dividers so that you can have a ball in each department. You can pierce 3 holes on the cover, and in that way, by keeping it closed, maybe with some sellotape so that even if they jump around it doesn't come open, with the thread coming from the 3 holes, the thread will always be separated. This is very important because you want it to go as smooth as possible. So now I'm going to show you how I do it from the lazy Kate. I've got my ball winder here, which I'm not going to use to wind the ball, because the ball for the plying ball, I find it important for it to be round, because then it can just turn in my hand. And it's also, I find that the one made with the machine is slightly square, it's not at all the same effect, And also, I would advise you not to do it from a center pull ball, because if you do it from a center pull ball, the ball, the remaining ball at the end will become soft, and you will lose the tension on the thread, so the twist can get messed up. This is the better way, because, as I say, it twists on the hand, but also you unwind it constantly, and you are just going to get smaller and smaller, but the thread is always tightly packed with its own tension. So the ball winder, I just use it for this, so that they can, as a I can't find the right word in English, it doesn't matter. It keeps all my singles nicely packed together. I need to check on the tension of the lazy K, because I don't want the bobbins to move around too much. And then I get a little coin. Here I've got one penny, and I start winding the yarn. Wait, the beginning is always a bit tricky because the coin is a bit slippery, but I wind the yarn round. Oh, I put too much tension on here, and I'm also working in the wrong direction here. Takes a minute to... Once the thread is covering the coin, it's going to be okay. Now it's got messed up there. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, this is fixed. So once the coin is covered, it's going to be much simpler. But the reason why I use a coin, which is something I was taught by old women as usual, is that I get, in this way, I get, again, the tension up to, on the thread, up to the very last tail, because being wound onto something, it means that until you get to the end, you will not get any part of the ball that will be not under tension anymore. So I carry on like this. As you can see, now I can go slightly quicker because so I change direction every now and then. So as you can see, I constantly turn the ball with on my thumb, because I like the ball to be nice and round without too many bulks. So I get this kind of effect. That's why a lot of people think that I'm doing this with a machine. Oh no, the other direction. As you can see, the bigger the ball becomes, the easiest it is to wind and the more thread it takes. So it does become quicker as you go. So basically what I have done, I have made 3 ply balls of 50 grams each. Now this is the last one.
I'm doing so, I'm not bothering with the scale, but the previous two balls I did them with a scale on the table, so that every now and then I weighed it until I got to 50 grams, and there I stopped and started the other ball. In fact, you can see here I've got one skein already plied. I plied it yesterday night. It's not been washed yet, so it's still not fluffed up. But as you can see, it turned out quite even. Then I've got the other ply ball and the one I'm making now. I think I will just finish this, and then I can show you how you ply from this. So now that I finished the last ball, I thought I was going to skip the weighing process, but actually there's something I need to explain to you, because of course there is a coin inside these balls. So before I even started, I measured the coin, which is 3 grams, and so the finished skein, wow, is 50 grams, and each one of these balls, now this one is 54, so I had a little bit more, there was a bit of extra single, so I didn't want to waste it. And this one, you see, is 53, which means that once it will be plied and the coin will be gone, it will be 50 grams.